All right, let's get straight to it. The US Open is going to be defensive. The reason? Rising energy costs are starting to reprice the entire tech sector, and it's happening right now. So you see that flat KOS close? It's completely deceptive. Ignore the surface. The real signal, the only thing that matters, is the massive capital rotation happening just underneath. We're not talking about a small market move here. This is a fundamental structural shift. And here is the divergence signal you have to pay attention to. Foreign funds, they are dumping premier semiconductor stocks. So where is all that cash going? You guessed it, straight into defense and energy. This isn't random noise. It is a calculated, strategic repositioning. Now let this number sink in for a second. 1.8 trillion KRW. That's the amount of foreign capital that just gushed out of Korea's core tech sector. That is not a warning shot. That is a 5-alarm fire. And that number tells you everything you need to know. This is not about profit-taking, not even close. What we are witnessing is a structural exit from the top-tier semiconductor nodes. The smart money is getting out, and they're getting out fast because the entire risk equation has been flipped on its head. So what does all this lead to? Well, it brings us to our central thesis. The market is finally waking up and starting to reprice AI computing power not as some abstract software, but as a physical commodity. And like any physical commodity, it has a hard limit. And that limit is energy. Let's be really clear and put a name on it. We're calling this a digital commodity. It means AI computing power is no longer valued in a vacuum. It is now a resource completely dependent on physical inputs. We're talking electricity, we're talking fuel. The old way of thinking about this is officially over. And this right here, this is the whole story in a single image. On one side, you've got pure digital power, these incredible HBM3E chips. And on the other, physical power, a gas turbine. These two things are now completely, inextricably linked. The value of that chip is now directly capped by the physical reality of that turbine. So how does this actually play out? Let me break it down. WTI crude hits $80. Simple enough. That immediately increases the operating expense, the OPEX, for every single data center. As OPEX goes up, the return on investment for all that cutting-edge AI hardware goes down. And boom, there it is. Energy prices have just become a physical cap on tech multiples. That WTI print at $80.45, that was the trigger. And look, this isn't just a theory. This is happening right now. We have the proof. The capital rotation is already in motion. Let's look at the data. The numbers don't lie. Samsung Electronics down 1.77%, SK Hynix down 1.81%. That is a clear capital exit. So where did the money go? Hanwha Aerospace up over 7%, Hyundai Rotem up over 3%. This is a classic defensive rotation, a direct hedge against geopolitical risk. Okay, so with that established, we have to pivot. The next big event on the radar is the U.S. non-farm payrolls report. And let me tell you, this is a macro trap. This data release is going to be the absolute decision point for the market. You've got two paths forward here, and it all hinges on this report. The bull case? An NFP number under 130,000. That might bring some relief. But the bear case? If NFP comes in hot, that strong labor data combined with this energy shock, it's going to light a fire under yields and turbocharge this rotation into energy and defense. So keep your eyes on two levels. 24,900 is your resistance. 24,500 is the critical support that absolutely has to hold. All right, analysis complete. Now for the battle plan. We are focused on the NASDAQ 100 futures for the US Open. Here's your entry. Monitor momentum towards the 24,900 resistance. Only act if that key pivot holds. Your exit. Reduce all tech exposure on any break below 24,500 support. Protect your capital. Your invalidation point. The 24,600 pivot level is the key. A close above it suggests the market can absorb this energy shock. So remember this. Computation is a physical process. And from now on, energy defines its valuation limit. That is the new framework. We'll see how this all plays out. To get this Asia Close analysis before New York opens, make sure you're subscribed. The signal is always right here. You just have to know where to look.